Hello everyone, my name is Cassie, and this is my Girl Scout Gold Award project titled Magnificent Monarchs. Throughout my life, butterflies have always been special to me, and when I found out monarch butterflies are endangered, I wanted to do something about it. One of my goals is to address the loss of habitat and provide a way station for the butterflies, kind of like a butterfly pit stop on their way from Canada through the US down to Mexico. Another goal is to educate people on how to bring back the monarch population. So this way station is being planted at Arbor Ridge, which is an almost 3-year-old retirement community in Huntersville, North Carolina, and a lot of plants and trees were taken down to make way for the facility, much like every other building everywhere. This is where we are building the garden for my project with the help of residents from the facility and other volunteers from the area. All of the plants we are using have been chosen specifically because they are native to North Carolina and are appropriate for all pollinators. So to start off building this garden, we had to map out the area and spray paint and then till the ground, which took a very long time because there was a lot of large rocks on the ground and the ground wasn't very soily as much as it was sandy. So while we had one person tilling the ground, a few others were following behind him and pulling out rocks that were being dug up. And after we finished one side of the garden with our tiller, we tilled the other side, and a few of our volunteers and I gathered up soil in our wheelbarrows and dumped it on the side that was finished while a couple of other volunteers spread it. Then, while the left side was being finished up, we went back and retilled the right side to mix the soil into the ground and then repeated that process on the left. At this point, a lot of the residents were sitting outside watching us because we had set up a tent and some chairs and waters and snacks and stuff for them to enjoy while we were working, and I got to know quite a few of them. So while the left was being finished up, one of my lovely volunteers and I went through the map of the garden design and arranged the plants in the order they were supposed to go in. Once they were all laid out, we went back through and planted them. So we had this trailer where all of the soil was, and we had to use wheelbarrows to unload it and split it between the two sides. So they're still spreading soil on that side in this clip. We also had to do the same thing for the mulch the day before, which was the big pile that you see in the corner of the screen there. So as you can see on this side, we're still planting the plants. They ended up moving the tent to be over near us at one point, but I still got really sunburned. But it's okay. So here we have some more residents sitting out that I talked to a bit about my project. And there's a couple more. That's my grandma and one of her friends. We started a club at Arbor Ridge as well to encourage the residents to learn more about the monarch butterflies and their migration and the importance of pollinators. So here you can see the tent is now over us and we are still planting on the right side. There was, I want to say, around 68 plants total. We had a lot of ground coverage plants, so there was many of those, probably about 6 to 12 depending on which plant it was, on each side. And then we had a big tree in the corner. We got an eastern redwood in the corner where the tent is, and then we had to organize all of the plants in a way so that they wouldn't be overshadowed by anything too tall in front of them. So it's very strategically placed. And you can see in this next clip right here, we have all of the rocks that we pulled out of the garden while we were planting them. So with the Monarch Club at the retirement facility, we were going to paint the rocks kind of like how you would paint kindness rocks and then lay them throughout the garden. So right here, we were still planting the right side, but once we finished, we had somebody water that side while we laid out the map for the left side. And then we went through and laid the mulch around everything once we were done, and that would just help keep the plants hydrated and trap all of the moisture in the ground. So right there we have some of the volunteers who are spreading the mulch and watering while one of the other volunteers and I are laying out the map for the left side of the garden. So then once the right side was finished, we're watering that side also. We had to water the plants a lot to make sure they got a very nice drink since it had been very hot and dry up until this point. And it's like the universe knew that we had planted this garden because for about a week or so after we planted, it had been raining almost every single day. At this point, there was a lot of just watering and us sitting around and just enjoying the view and soaking in all of our hard work. So here you can see all of us. And then there's my lovely plant arrangement volunteer and me. The monarch migration is truly one of the world's greatest natural wonders, yet it is threatened by habitat loss throughout the breeding areas in the United States and Canada. And milkweed is the only plant on which monarchs will lay their eggs, and it's the only source of food for baby caterpillars. So if you want to plant a garden of your own, that's the most important part. To offset the loss of milkweeds and nectar sources, we need to create, conserve, and protect monarch butterfly habitats. One of the ways to help is to create your own Monarch Way Stations and home gardens at schools, retirement centers, like this one, businesses, parks, zoos, nature centers, along roadsides and other unused plots of land. Creating a Monarch Way Station can be as simple as adding milkweeds and nectar sources to existing gardens or maintaining natural habitats with milkweeds. So now you can see the garden is completely done. That was our butterfly layout, and here it is on the ground in real time. I am so grateful to all the help that we received and all the love and support that I got for my project. I'm so happy that the residents now have this beautiful garden to look at from their windows every single day. I hope also that my project could serve as inspiration to anybody else trying to earn their Girl Scout Gold Award, or for anybody else who is interested in conserving monarch habitats and pollinator populations. So we just planted these. This is our blue vervain here. So it's called blue vervain, but it actually gets purple. But that's a really pretty flower. This next one right here is cardinal flower. And that one gets a bright red. Really pretty flower also. Very attractive to pollinators because of the color. And then this one right here is our orange coneflower, which looks kind of like a black-eyed Susan. And the bright orange color is also very attractive to the pollinators. So these two here, the blue vervain and the cardinal flower, they'll get to be anywhere between like 3 to 5 feet tall, roughly. This is more of like a little bush, kind of like a black-eyed Susan, that can get up to 4 feet tall in like good conditions, but it probably won't in our front yard, but it'll still get nice and pretty like the black-eyed Susans do. And then right here and here, we planted our butterfly milkweed. So that's what the butterflies are going to use to lay their eggs on, so that the caterpillars, when they hatch, they'll eat the plant. And that's like food for the baby caterpillars. So I'm just watering them right now. We just put them in the ground. Super fun. So you can do this in your own backyard. It doesn't need to be anything crazy. Just integrating milkweed, honestly, is like the best thing that you could probably do in an at-home garden. And then having attractive, colorful flowers is never a bad idea either. We've got this one over here that's bright purple. There's actually, hang on. There's a bee on it right now, I think. Let's get a little closer. You guys see, oh, there's many bees.